A blessed week to you, my dear brothers and sisters. In our gospel passage today, we read about the parable of the Good Samaritan. This was a parable given by Jesus as a response to the teacher of law, the expert who asked him, "Who is my neighbor?" In this time that we are experiencing pandemic, in this time that many countries are experiencing war, poverty, discrimination, systemic racism, this is the moment that we should ask this question again. Who is my neighbor? But we can rephrase this question asked by the expert in another way. We can actually say, am I a good neighbor? To the first question, who is my neighbor? Jesus has already answered that question using the parable of Good Samaritan. My neighbor, your neighbor, is any human being created in the image and likeness of God, irrespective of the race, irrespective of the economic status, irrespective of the academic status, irrespective of where the person comes from. Which means that neighborhood is not confined or restricted to geographical locations. It can be any person, even the person you meet in the internet is also your neighbor. The parable of the Good Samaritan is a story that we should read in our families every day, especially in the mornings before we can go out, so that we and our children, we will learn that every human person we are going to encounter is also the image of God. And as we respect ourselves, we should also respect other persons. We should also appreciate other persons as we appreciate ourselves, because we are all the children of God and we belong to one Father. I would like to borrow a few thoughts from the new encyclical of Pope Francis, the Fratelli Tutti. Pope Francis said that we should recognize a brother, a sister, in the face of every human person we encounter. We should recognize the face of Christ in every person we encounter, especially the poor, the suffering, the sick, the least, the last, and the lost. Every human person created in the image of God, we should recognize the face of Christ in that person. This is a reminder, actually, that the same Jesus we kneel down for in the Blessed Sacrament is the same Jesus that is moving around in the poor, the same Jesus that is moving around in those who are abandoned, the same Jesus moving around in the street kids, the same Jesus moving around in those who are begging. It is the same Jesus. Remember in Matthew chapter 25 from verse 35 to 45, Jesus will expand this more when he says, "Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers, you did for me. And whatsoever you failed to do to the least of my brothers, you also failed to do for me." And this should bring us to the second question, which is always asked by Cardinal Tagle. Am I a good neighbor? This is a question that we should answer ourselves sincerely. Am I a good neighbor? Am I a good priest? Am I a good husband? Am I a good wife? Am I a good child? Am I a good student? Am I a good neighbor, really, to the people around me? Do I greet people? Do I ask people how they are doing? Do I care about people? Do I listen to them? Am I in solidarity to all those who are suffering? Or am I the kind of person who say, I don't care, it doesn't concern me? Being a good neighbor is to respect the uniqueness that exists in every human person. And this involves respecting the opinions of those who are different from us, respecting the ideologies, especially good ideologies, of those who are different from us, respecting the good traditions and cultures of those who are also unique from us. There are so many ways we can show that we are good neighbors. So to be a neighbor, to be a good neighbor, is to always speak with love, to act with love, to respect everyone, irrespective of the color, irrespective of the academic status, irrespective of the economic status, but for the fact that this person is a human being. This person is created in the image and likeness of God. As we continue our daily activities, I pray for you that this week shall be a fruitful, joyful, and blessed week. I pray that you will encounter persons or people who will love you, those who will cherish you, and those who will appreciate you. I want to tell you that I am also your good neighbor, and I pray that you will be a good neighbor to me and to the people around you. I want you to remember that you are blessed to bless.